sports. It's in the game.
One up and up is magic. With the gang, we ball out, it can get tragic. All we got, we gon' let you have it. Stuck in my ways, think I need to change my habits. What would you do if you were me and didn't have it? Look in the mirror, now I'm feeling like a savage. Tell my son I love him, for him I'ma make it happen. Now my dream's reality, not going back to. You say that you proud of me, I turn my back, you laughing. Now I hit the scene, daylight lights, camera action. Living in a dream, now my music, they be blasting. Step out, I'm a star, always in the latest fashion. Had to set the bar, try to catch me lacking. Bank account for my son, he won't have to struggle. You can see it in my eyes, all I do is hustle. They tried to knock me off my feet, I'm ready to rumble. Felt like I ain't ate in weeks, working off the muscle. Oh yeah, oh my, we ride for my brothers, no lie. All you can die, never wrong, they right. I ain't changing my side, yeah, we in it for life. When up and up is magic. With the gang, we ball out, it can get tragic. All we got, we gon' let you have it. Stuck in my ways, think I need to change my habits. What would you do if you were me and didn't have it? Look in the mirror, now I'm feeling like a savage. Tell my son I love him, for him I'ma make it happen. Now my dream's reality, not going back to. You say that you proud of me, I turn my back, you laugh. Hey, how could you lie to my face? People claim that they be loyal, they be taking up space. See my broski lose his heart when he was fighting that case. Took so many yells, I'm not going back to those days. I'ma treat you how you treat me, do you like how it tastes? Shawty, use up, can't treat you like my ace.
Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. We're just about set to get started, and this ought to be a good one between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cincinnati Bengals. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach. Well, with the Ohio River and the hills of Kentucky just to our right, we welcome you into Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati, Ohio. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cincinnati Bengals. Hi again, everyone. I'm Brandon Godden. To my left, Charles Davis. And, Charles, you focus on this Bengal team entering play. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Steelers, they come in at 15-0, 1 win short of a perfect regular season.
And it's something we've only seen a couple of times. Miami in 1972, New England in 2007. We know they're not going to mail it in. They're going to go for it.
Here we go. The final week of the NFL season. Week 17 is underway. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Here come the Bengals now to take over. They'll be led out by the former Texas Christian University Horned Frog, Andy Dalton.
And there's no substitute for experience in this league. And what it usually leads to, a whole lot of confidence. Andy Dalton is sharp with where to go with the football now. I think he sees reads before they actually even happen. He can sense them now, and he is one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL.
Hands up. Ladies. 50. Right here. Shift.
Quick throw, complete out wide here to Green. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Here now the offense for the Bengals.
Out of the backfield is Joe Mixon, and he was a valuable commodity coming out of the University of Oklahoma because of his ability to be so versatile. Can run it inside with power, gets to the perimeter and can outrun people, catches the ball not only out of the backfield, but you can split him out just like he would be a receiver. And I think if he wanted to dedicate himself, he'd be an all-pro kick returner.
Now here's a throw, and that's Taywan Taylor with it. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. That one good for 15, and the Bengals get a first down. The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon, and he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5. Now a look at the defensive starters here for the Steelers. They played really well in the win over the Raiders a week ago.
Held them well under 200 yards of total offense. In today's NFL, that's a feat to be proud of, especially with the emphasis on offense and what we're seeing each and every week.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The sack by T.J. Watt, or as his mother Connie calls him, Trent Jordan Watt.
Well, competition comes up in so many different ways, and right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. Had about 5 sacks last week, and we just saw their first one of this game.
On 4th down, here's Matt Bosher on to punt. Back deep for the Steelers, Ryan Switzer. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Steelers now for their first drive. And we get a glance here at their leader, the man who will be calling the plays under center.
I read something prepping for this game that he said prior to, and I think he really said it a few months ago, where he talked about he wants to have the type of season that at the end, he's buying gifts for all the guys who have helped him along the way. And I know that the team wants to hold him to that and really get into his wallet. But that's what good leadership gives you. You know, at the end of the season, because you've done a great job, QB, he's usually the guy who springs for the good stuff.
He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23. Offensive starters, here they are. David DeCastro, what do you think about him, Charles?
Brandon could not have been better trained at Stanford. So well schooled in the run game and the pass game, and especially in pro principles. David DeCastro could be an all-pro in the years to come.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23.
Watch his flat. Watch his flat. 552. Watch the curve.
Here's a 2nd and 7. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. A look there at the defensive starters for Cincinnati. They really played well in that win last week against Miami.
And what I saw on film was nearly an unstoppable pass rush. They had 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries. So now do you just max protect on offense, keep everyone in and run, 1 or 2 receiver routes to make sure your quarterback stays up? We'll soon find out.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Looking to throw. Jeffers able to find Switzer. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
52's the mic. Yeah. Mike 52, Mike 52. Defense wins championships, baby.
From the gun, Jeffers. They'll find Juju Smith-Schuster. And he takes this all the way inside the Cincy 20. A big play that time for Pittsburgh. 47 yards. Well, make that now 2 completions for him on this drive, and these aren't ordinary completions. They're big ones.
Yeah, these are the types that make a secondary talk to each other, and not in a good way. Oftentimes pointing fingers. Hey, who's got him? Someone cover it. That type of indecision can open up to even more big plays.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. On 1st and 10 is counter. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. The defense showing some anger after giving up the big play. This time they'll lose 1 or 2.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. On 2nd down, Connor looking for space. Oh, he tried to pitch it, and the ball's loose. And the Bengals grab it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Thank goodness for heaters up here. And thank goodness I don't have to carry the football in this game. It's January. It's cold out there. Trying to clutch the football and absorb the hits, not easily done.
Yeah, we saw a product of the elements right there. All right, let's see what Dalton can do after the fumble recovery. Got his man. It's Eifert. And out of bounds across the 15-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. So Dalton now. He finds Taylor, complete. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
We're scoreless after 1. Ready for the 2nd quarter from Cincinnati. It's the Bengals with the football here. They've got a 3rd down and a yard to start things out. They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And he will have a first down at about the 21-yard line. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. Back to Mixon on first down. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Dalton under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Bud Dupree, it's his 20th sack of the season as he continues what could be a record-setting campaign.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also with the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect. They know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
That'll be a 50-yard punt with 8 on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. So with the Steeler offense on their way out, let's take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And for them, it's no longer a question of will they make the playoffs. They've clinched the division title. The question, can they hold on to that #1 seed?
And this is where the mental fortitude comes to play, doesn't it? Because now you're not just the coach talking about it. It's team talking about it to each other. supporting each other, carrying each other along, because having that #1 seed means everything in the NFL.
It does. So even though the division title's clinched, shouldn't take the foot off the gas.
No, not at all. Play it all the way through, and I think we've seen that in recent years in the NFL. The teams that play and play to win each and every game, they're the ones to deal with in the playoffs.
57 to Mike. 57 to Mike. 57 to Mike. Mike 57. Here we go.
To throw on second down. Jeffers. And that's caught inside the 30. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 33 yards that time. Not really any offense for them to speak of here in this first half. Maybe that's what they needed, that big play.
Yeah, it seems that maybe everything changes right there. They've been a little slow out of the gate. We've seen that. But that one big play, that could spark a big burst right here.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Connor. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. This is Connor. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. On 2nd down now, it's Connor. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now. 2 minutes on the clock in what's been a scoreless first half. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. James Conner with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon.
Well, we got a little bit of everything on that run. Offensive line creating some space, but how about the guy running behind his pads into the end zone?
What does that mean when a guy says running behind his pad?
Means that he's going to be a physical runner. That way he's able to use his shoulder pads, his forearms, anything to ward off people to power his way forward.
Chris Boswell now for the extra point. And he'll put it through to make it 7-0 Steelers. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it was a touchdown run by James Conner that was the exclamation mark. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now this Bengals offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. As the season winds down and you look at them in totality, you know, the offense has struggled. The defense has been pretty good, so I would imagine the changes this offseason may be more on the offensive side of the ball.
And this is where we always hear the term complementary football, because as you noted, the defense has played well enough for them to win games, and the offense has held them back. So they've got to reward that defense by improving on offense. I don't know if you make a change, a quarterback, running back, tight end, it doesn't matter. Get better players, better system, so they can play to the standards of the defense, and the win column will result.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw again. Dalton. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. T.J. Watt in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
So the sack, and now it's 3rd and long for Dalton and the Bengals.
Check three, check three.
Dalton with a give here to Mixon. And he'll get this one across the 20, but only up to about the 21. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Matt Bosher now as he's on to punt for Cincinnati. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Switzer on the return. It'll be a 47-yard punt with a net of 40 following a 7-yard return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The first look at the NFL scoreboard comes from the Motor City, and it's the Ravens that have moved out to an early advantage. Lamar Jackson with 1 touchdown pass thus far. On 1st and 10, Jeffers. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. The end result, 21 yards. Operating from the gun, Jeffers. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another first down. This is caught. Call that a very strong gain of 24. Now the Steelers use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit them, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. They'll look to run with Connor, pushing and fighting his way in for a Steeler touchdown. James Conner as the first half is winding down. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead.
Brandon, my man, just 1 sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strike ability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Extra point put through by Boswell, and that'll make the score 14-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything, at least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. The final act of the first half. Dalton airing one out for Boyd. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you as always. Welcome into our final regular season edition of our Halftime Report. Playoff lives hanging in the balance as we take you around the NFL one final time. We'll get things started up at Ford Field in Detroit. And it's the Ravens who have the lead as they play the second quarter. Lamar Jackson has thrown a touchdown pass. From there, let's get over to Arizona to check on the Cardinals at home in Glendale. And this one going the visitors' way as the Texans have the lead in that one. DeAndre Hopkins, a touchdown reception. Lastly, let's head up to the Twin Cities to check in on the Vikings at home in Minneapolis. And they were losers in that ball game to the visiting Cleveland Browns. 28-14 was your final score. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Juju Smith-Schuster and the rest of this offense heading back out there. Seems like the measuring stick for a receiver for a great game is 100 yards. Well, he's well past that now.
And as we analyze how he's getting him, that's where it really becomes fun because, let's face it, they keep sending coverage at him, keep trying to put the pressure on, yet he finds ways downfield and finds openings. That's a really crafty receiver.
Here's Connor, and he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
Switch gears. Check 52.
Again, a run with Connor. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8. A lot of running backs, a little bit of a disadvantage when you start talking MVP. Might not be the case this year. You think he's got a shot, don't you?
I do. I think he's got more than a shot. But what he's going to need here down the stretch this late in the season, he needs that big closing game, that game that we're all going to reflect on and go, oh, my goodness, did he put up a number, let's say 200 plus?
On first down, Connor. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Here we go. Strip the ball. Strip that ball. Watch it. Hey. 24.
They'll run on first down. It's Connor. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
We got 4. 16. Check.
Now the man from nearby Columbus, Ohio, Benny Snell. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10.
I got you.
From the gun, Jeffers. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10.
Alert 3.
From the gun, a give to Connor. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. From the gun on 3rd down, Jeffers. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
They went with the dive look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
So on 4th down, the Steelers call on the number of Chris Boswell for the field goal try. It'll come from the right hash. It's a 47-yard attempt. And it is good. Oh, that one looked to be in trouble the whole way, but it does get over the bar. And the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the third quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
This is taken at the 3. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Here we go with a player's spotlight, and we shine that spotlight on Andy Dalton. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground, but that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
From the 31, Dalton nowhere to escape, and he goes down. T.J. Watt able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
So the sack, and now it's 3rd and long for Dalton and the Bengals. From the gun, Dalton looks to throw. He gets this into the hands of Taylor. And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the 1st down marker. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
They didn't get the 1st down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the 1st. Here's Matt Bosher now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And this will pin him back deep. That's going to kick out of bounds right at about the 7-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game. But this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football. Because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. Your 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
So a much rosier picture now after that last play. Here's 1st and 10 at the 19-yard line. Right back to Cotter here on 1st. A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28. 1 quarter remains here as the regular season starts to wind down. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard.
We gotta get this stop here, D.
Now it's Counter. And he's he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Two first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10.
Check that. We got Mike 52 right here. Here we are. 52 is the mic right here over there, right? 52 is the mic. Let's go, deep.
Operating from the gun. Jeffers, open man, completes it to Smith-Schuster. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. A good pickup there, a 22. Well, there's your leading receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, putting on another clinic, well over 100 yards.
Are we taking notes? We should be, right? Because I'm going to go back and watch this tape and really enjoy what I'm seeing. The route running, competing for the football, just breaking down a defense.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line. They run with Connor. Darquez Denard there to make the tackle.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Here we go. Hey, Mike 52, Mike 52.
Here's 2nd and 8. That's going to be caught. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Juju Smith-Schuster, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning, right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Boswell good with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Bengal offense on their way out as we look at the playoff race in the AFC. And it's all come down to this, hasn't it? Final week of the regular season. As this year's playoffs play out anything like the regular season has gone, could be in for a wild and fun month of January.
And we can break the rules because we can look ahead. All right, there's not a coach out there that's ever said to their team, all right, let's look three weeks down the road. It's always right here, right now. Forget that. Think about what the playoffs are going to look like. The teams that we see that are already in, the teams that are trying to get in, we could have some great matchups.
And here's a throw taken in by Boyd. And they get him down down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A Bengal first down on the 16-yard pickup there. That's just his second catch of the game. They wanted to keep him silent. They have kept him silent.
Defensive football 101. Don't let the best player on offense beat you. Take him out of the game. They've done a great job of doing that.
The first play of the drive there is incomplete. Tyler Boyd, the former Pitt Panther, was the target. And now it's second down.
Lead. 50's the money. Think you gonna get this, boys? You think you gonna get this?
Throwing again. Dalton. He finds his running back, Mixon. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
And the Bengals on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 11. Another chance for Dalton. Now he's hit, and Dalton lost the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And he's in for 6 and a Steeler touchdown. And give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice. You're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
Extra point now by Boswell. And the lead will grow by 1 more. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points. You feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
So here's Dalton and the Bengals now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Here's Dalton, and he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Now a throw left sideline here is complete. 19 yards the pick up there. Move the chains. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Andy Dalton now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. And Dalton to throw. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Dalton's pass complete to Green, and he'll get it down to the 47 here. The Bengals on 3rd down, just 1 for 5 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. Passing, it's Dalton. Now he's hit, and Dalton lost the football. And it looks like Steeler football. It is.
As they say, this game hasn't exactly been one for the books. I mean, we're into the fourth quarter here, and now this happens, another turnover. Not one that they're going to hold up and say, yeah, this has been a banner day.
Absolutely. Still sitting on 0. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point.
Rip right. Back. Check.
On first down, Connor, and he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
On second down, it's Snell. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
52. Rip left. Quick edge.
On second down, Snell. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now third down. When this offense gathers to watch the tape, they're going to like a lot of what they saw. They put up big numbers, but they might fast forward through that last play.
Oh, there won't be any fast forwarding, partner. I've sat in those sessions before. You end up spending more time on the bad plays than you do on the good ones. That's just the nature of coaches. But I know sitting in that room, when you've had a big game, the night that they've had, you don't want to hear that. You just want to focus on the good stuff.
They'll run here with Connor. And he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24.
We got this.
So this one in the win column for the